Welcome back.
Hey.
Another World History Project, another World History video. My name's Sophie,
I'm Ayla.
and we're going to be talking about the Mongols today.
Yes.
So, we have a couple of questions that we're going to talk through. You know, our topic today is really about, looking back on the past and how we've answered past Mongol questions.
Yeah. And how our thoughts have changed.
Exactly. And how our thoughts have changed.
Yeah.
Our first original impression on, I'm going to call him Genghis Khan because I originally didn't agree with him. You know, he slaughters. He's just kind of a killer.
Yeah. No, he did. He destroyed entire cities and towns and really only kept the people that were important to him and were going to benefit him.
Yeah. And he kept, anyone, if you said, hey, I don't really like that Genghis Khan, you're dead.
Dead.
Not
Gone.
only are you dead,
Head on a stick.
head on a stick on the ground, but not only are you dead, your whole town is.
Yeah.
Can't even speak ill of the man. So, I never loved him. I still don't. But we'll get there. Because specific new information and evidence has really reinforced my opinion. I wouldn't say it's changed. I would say it reinforced it. We were talking before about how he really only kept people that were important to him.
Yeah.
Well, he'd go to a town, and maybe he was kind of nice because he was like, you know what? I'll spare a couple lives. You're an aristocrat, come with me. You're
Scholar, come with me.
You are
Anyone?
a doctor.
Anyone who had any type of knowledge of their city, their town, so the librarians, the people that kept all of the power and the knowledge, they were saved. Everyone else dead.
Yeah. So it's like if you weren't top genius,
Bye.
goodbye. It was nice knowing you.
Bye.
And those people that he did save, he completely uprooted. They were just thrown in different parts of the big empire, which the empire also spanned at one point from
Huge.
it went all the way down through China. It went across to Europe. It was huge. It was massive. If you see maps of of how much they took over in such a short amount of time,
It was a quarter of the world.
yeah. And knowing that they would uproot somebody and throw them in a random area because they threw them wherever they were beneficial. They were just like, all right, you're smart. Go help these people that are my people.
If you were good with trade, you went to a different part.
Yeah. Forget how I killed your people. Come be
come
nice
with
to
me.
mine. So I think it's pretty messed up. We were talking before about comparisons to even movies.
Yeah.
You want to talk
In
about
the
that?
movie Mulan, the evil guys that they're fighting, he is referenced as Khan. It's not Genghis Khan. I did fact check that, but it is during the Mongol Empire and the fall of the Mongol Empire. But it is all based the look and everything is based off of what he looked like and the mass destruction. In the movie, we see that they killed an entire town and all that's left is a little doll of a baby.
It's pretty loosely based
Yeah.
off of Genghis Khan. I mean, the name.
The
Come
name.
on, it's pretty loosely based
Yeah.
off of the man. We know who it is, Disney. You don't have to worry about the copyright. We
You don't
know.
have to lie. It's
We
okay.
know. But I think that the in-depth studying of this empire and its legacy is really essential to history, just because of what we were saying, how it did take up so much of the world at a point in history. It changed. They changed everything. In that time period, and even since, when you think brutality in war and conquering, and you think of the Mongols, you think of how brutal and how much they slaughtered and just.
In a lot of European battles, they used war tactics from the Mongols, and they took the brutality, and we can see that throughout the rest of history with all the other war efforts.
Absolutely. You can see how everything really has derived from the Mongols. And not only war tactics and different sorts of art and, the influence of Mongols, they're on the trade routes. Their cuisine was just transferred through different areas. So it affected everything. But it also has carried on in people. Genghis Khan has, what was the number? Genghis Khan he has like 16 million or something. One in every 200
Every day
men.
is a Genghis Khan descendant's birthday.
Yes, and one in every 200 men
Is related to him.
is
somehow.
related to Genghis
Mhm.
Khan. So obviously, even just that legacy and how it's come into today.
Yeah.
You know, I've probably met someone that's related to Genghis Khan.
You
and
might
I
be
just don't
related to
know.
Genghis Khan.
You know, I don't really know it
Well,
that
no,
way.
but
Well, no.
well, no.
But you know, a lot of other people are. A lot of other people are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe your favorite twins aren't,
Yeah.
but
Maybe somebody else.
maybe somebody else. Maybe we'll be our own Genghis Khan, just a nicer version. Just think, you know, like the Graces.
Okay. Yeah.
Graceful. But our final conclusion on the Mongols is just the fact that, like, they were brutal.
Mm-hmm.
They were brutal. And there's no real way to almost justify that action. Because a lot of the time it was just to conquer land. It was to get resources. They didn't build their own
They
settlements.
took resources from other places that they conquered and took that and used it for their own benefit.
Yes. And they really didn't, you know, since they were just travelers, they didn't have actual settlements. They really would just destroy everything they came across. They didn't really, I don't think they truly understood. I don't think they understood, like, what these people were doing.
No.
And
And
that's just why they took over.
Because they didn't have a specific spot, they were a little bit nicer to, like, women and, like, the feminist movement, but that was,
Yes.
like, very minimum.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
they could get divorced
Mhm.
and they could own land, which was very, like, progressive for that time, but also that kind of cancels out when you're killing. I think that the statistic was over 10% of the world at that time was
they
killed.
racked up millions. Their kill
Millions.
count was like, something I read said 2-something million. I could be wrong. We need to fact check that, but they killed. Their numbers were in the millions of casualties.
Mhm.
It was extreme slaughter. So, you know, I mean, maybe I'm not a descendant of Genghis Khan, but nobody is a descendant of those millions of people
that
killed.
They killed.
So they ended bloodlines, they ended towns, they ended all of the art and the language and the history that might have come of those places. So I truly believe that there's no real justifying the Mongols' actions. So my verdict on that legacy is, hi, Siggy. Sorry, Siggy's behind the camera. So my verdict on that is truly just, like, exactly what I just said,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
They killed people. They did not have any remorse or regret for anything that they did. They only kept people that were going to benefit them and benefit their society. And honestly, that's pretty selfish of them.
Honestly, not cool.
No, not cool at all.
Genghis Khan was like the Regina George
Of the Mongol
the Mongol
and
Empire.
of, like, that time period.
It's like
He needs to get hit by a bus.
Genghis, you heard it here, folks. Genghis Khan needs to get hit